Hello everyone. First of all, please excuse me for this noise because today you will get to hear a bunch of noise. There is some construction going on right outside our house, and this room particularly doesn't have any AC, so you will get to hear the fan as well. I hope you bear with it and it doesn't bother you in this video, because otherwise I'll just die of heat stroke. So let's begin with this video. So in this video we will talk about a few prepositions of time. Now prepositions usually are used to describe a relationship among the different words in a sentence. So prepositions of time specifically talk about anything that is related to time. Basically, how long ago something happened, or how long something will take, or events like these. So today we will talk about specifically in, on and at. In just one sentence, if I describe the difference between in, on and at, then I can say that it generally describes a period of time from broad to specific. Like in usually describes a duration of time that is usually pretty broad, it's a long period of time. Then on kind of gets a bit more specific, it's particularly a date or a day of the week. But when you get to at, it becomes most specific. You are talking about a point of time, something very specific. It usually talks about a point in time, maybe a point when something specific happened, or a specific time on the clock. So we will get to know them in even more detail. Let's first start with in. Like I said before, in is used to refer to usually longer periods of time, like decades or centuries, like usually longer periods of time. Now we will take a look at a few sentence structures that this preposition likes to follow. For example, in along with parts of the day, like in the morning or in the evening. For example, he likes to take a walk in the morning, or he usually likes his tea in the evening. In can also be followed by months, like in December or in March. For example, we have a big convention coming in December, or Holi is usually celebrated in February or in March. You can also use in to describe seasons, like in winter or in summer. For example, Delhi is harsh both in summer and in winter. Delhi is harsh both in summer and in winter. You can also use in with years or centuries. Like in 1970, things were starting to change both culturally and economically. Or you can say, both my parents grew up in the 70s. You can also use in with centuries, like this one is the 21st century. You can say, we live in the 21st century. Or you can also use in with periods of time, like in the Middle Ages, or in an hour, or in a week, or basically it describes a period of time that has a specific beginning point and a specific ending point. By the way, there is an extra thing to note here, is that when you are speaking about the beginning of the day or the end of the day, you can say at the start of the day or at the end of the day. But when you are talking about somewhere in the middle, you can say it's in the middle. In is used to describe the middle areas, where there is nothing specific happening. But beginning and ending are very specific. There can be only one of these, so you use at with those. Now let's talk about on. On actually gives you information regarding a bit more specific period of time, like a bit more specific than in does, like dates or days of the week. The sentence structures for on can be something like on a specific day of the week, like on Sunday or on Monday. For example, we have a school trip on Monday. We have a school trip on Monday. Like I said before, you can also use on with dates, like on 1st January 2022, or on the first day, or on the last day. For example, his birthday is on the 5th of March. His birthday is on the 5th of March. Now, there is something interesting that we will learn right now, that is on can also be followed by holidays, but they should have day with them, like on the Independence Day, or on Christmas Day, or on New Year's Day, or on New Year's Eve. For example, we used to have sweets on the Independence Day. We used to have sweets on the Independence Day. Or what are your plans on the New Year's Eve? What are your plans on the New Year's Eve? On can also be followed by specific days, like on someone's birthday, or on that day, or on this day. Again, we are talking about a specific day, that is why it's used with on. For example, he promised to be here on my birthday. He promised to be here on my birthday. Now, I'm sure you must have heard expressions like on Sunday mornings or on Friday evenings. It's actually very common, that is on along with a day, then the part of that day. For example, he will be taking classes on Friday evenings. He will be taking classes on Friday evenings. Also, there is another expression that I'm sure is pretty common and you have already heard of it, that is on time. You can also say on the weekends or on this weekend. For example, again, what are your plans on the weekend? What are your plans on the weekend? Or he promised to be here on time. He promised to be here on time. Or he assured everyone that he would be on time. He assured everyone that he would be on time. Now, people usually confuse with on time and in time. On time is actually very specific. It describes the starting point of something. Like when you get somewhere on time, it means you arrived there just when the program or the event was about to start, exactly at the starting time. But when you get somewhere in time, it means you made it there right before the event was about to start, right before the starting point of time. So in time is a few minutes or maybe a few hours or whatever it is. It's before the starting point. But on time is very specific, that is at the beginning of the event. Anyway, that was all about in and on. Now let's talk about at. At actually denotes to specific points of time. The sentence structures with at can be at along with hours, like at 10 a.m. or at 3 o'clock. For example, he will pick me up at 10 o'clock. He will pick me up at 10 o'clock. Also, at can be used with parts of the day, like at night or at breakfast or at lunchtime, at sunset, at dawn, anything. One thing to remember here, guys, is that when you describe morning or evening, or you usually say it's in the morning or in the evening, but when you are talking about night, you say at night. For example, she said she can't go out at night, or I saw him going out at dawn. I saw him going out at dawn. Also, at can be used with holidays, but those holidays should not have day with them, like at Christmas or at New Year's. For example, they will be having a party at New Year's. They will be having a party at New Year's. Also, at can be used with time. When I'm sure you have heard expressions like at the moment or at the end of it or at the beginning of it. These are all expressions that somehow denote the specific moment in time, and that is why they are used with at. For example, both of them entered the room at the same time. Both of them entered the room at the same time. Again, at the same time kind of denotes to a specific moment, the moment when they both entered the room. Or you can say, he seems to be busy at the moment. He seems to be busy at the moment. Now, at the moment means, again, it describes the present time, right now. Also, there is another thing to clarify here, is that at the moment and in the moment, these are two things that people often confuse with. Now remember that at the moment describes the present time, to the present, like the right now, everything that's surrounding you right now. But in the moment kind of means to be focused or be involved in whatever it is that you're doing or whatever it is that you are experiencing right now. You are in the moment, like living in the moment. You are experiencing whatever it is that is happening around you. So you will be saying that I'm living in the moment. You are basically experiencing the moment. You are basically are engulfed by the moment, you can say. So that's it for today, guys. In this video we talked about in, on and at in a very clear and open manner, and I also tried to give you example sentences along with sentence structures, the structures that these prepositions of time usually follow. So if you think that you found this video useful, helpful in any way, then give it a like and consider subscribing to my channel. That would mean a lot. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next one.